Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp on the Wimp, and we're going to jump back into Age of Dogfights. Make sure you watch the update video I did before this one, just in case you haven't. I did touch on some of the components that I discussed in previous videos. Now, we're going to jump back in. Germans are getting ready to do their next movement phase. And one of the things I wanted to point out is when it comes to your movement, all right, so you see how these aircraft have the big number that designates their number, correlates to these numbers over here so you can differentiate the aircraft. Now, the only time that's listed in the rulebook is mattering is when they're coming in from the patrol zone. So out here, these positions staging and then coming on the board. It says you start with the lowest number and then work your way up. That I had missed previously. But it doesn't say that it matters when they're here on the board. Just that one side will move all their aircraft, then do their offensive firing, and then the other side will move all their aircraft and then do their offensive firing. I think, if I am interpreting the rules correctly, that the aircraft can be moved in any order. Okay, so it's not going to matter once they're here. I could potentially be wrong, but I do think I'm right on that. And something else that I think is kind of player preference, because I don't see it affecting the game, put it down in the comments if you think it does, is the order in which they shoot. Because the way this is set up is more like a X-Wing, right? So you got your movement phase and then your offensive firing phase. The only difference is that in X-Wing, all aircraft would be moved, right? So one side moves, it's all based on initiative. And then once all movement's done, all shooting is done. Here, one side does all their movement and then shooting. Then the other side does their movement and shooting. Another way you could potentially do that, I think, is complete one whole cycle with an aircraft. So move it, shoot it, then move to your next aircraft, move it and shoot it. I think that would be more like player preference. You know, you could try it that way, see if you like it better. I'm going to stick with what is written in the rules. And something I am going to do is I set my little yellow beads that I use a lot. And this is just for me because I have such a bad memory that I think I'll potentially forget what aircraft I've already moved for this round. So I'm going to place a little bead next to them once I've moved them and then remove that bead once I've fired with them if they need to fire. That way I can just be sure, and that just has to do with me, head injury, bad memory, that crap, just to make sure I'm on point. Okay, so let's pick up with the Germans. I'm going to stick with doing their scout aircraft first. So we've got 13, 14, 15, I believe. No, where's the other one? Yep, 13 up here. So we got 13, 14, and 15. I'm just going to work my way bottom and go up. So they're all at level 4. There are some scouts over here. This one's at level 4. Those are dropping down to 2. That's a scout and a fighter dropping down to 2. And this one's coming up to 4. So I'm trying to think of where I'm going to go with this. He's already in position. So these two could come in on him. And this one might swoop over here to go after this guy after he moves. We'll have to see. So this is going to be a little bit of a learning experience for me and you guys. We're just going to take it slow and see how it does with us. But I expect our first little bits of shooting will actually start during this round. Now, number 14 here, I want to try to get him to where he can fire at there, or should I say, 14. He is not in an exposed position, all right? The AI rules, I'm still loosely using them because he's not necessarily, let's see, 4 spaces. Yeah, he's not in a position to where he could really realistically be shot with the movement of this aircraft. Maybe depending on his movement on this turn, and if he got a good roll, they'd be close enough to fire. So he's pretty much just going to keep moving over here and trying to get into a good position. And what I think is I'm going to try to get him over down on this bottom side, maybe pointing up either here or somewhere over this direction, and then have this one swoop around. That way he's they're pinning him in, right? So either way this scout goes, he's going to have aircraft that can zoom in on his 6. So let's roll our blue die. see where he's gonna go. He's got, ooh, -1. That is not good for him. -1, agility of 2, which means he's getting to move 3 spaces and turn twice. That's not too good. See, if I brought him here, 1, 2, 3, turn. Yeah, we're going to do that. So we're going to start with a turn, 1, 2, 3, finish with a turn, have him pointing in this direction. That way, sorry, my dog barked in the background. That way he is pointing in the direction that this aircraft is flying. So if he turns in on him to go after him, then this one's going to be able to turn in on his backside and vice versa. All right, so let's roll for 15. He's the next scout. Let's mark this just in case. Boom. All right. He's got a +1, so he's got 5 movement and 2 turns. Ooh, I don't want to use both his turns that quick. I was thinking I could turn up and then turn right back, but that means he's going to finish pointing that way. And they're at the same altitude, but and you have to use all your movement, all right? So you can't just ignore movement. Whatever you get for your movement, you have to move that max movement. So these scouts not having a whole lot of turns is really kind of biting them in the butt. They are just not agile. I mean, they're World War I aircraft. What do you expect? If we go up 1, 2, 3, turn here 4, turn back 5. I don't want him that far. If I turn immediately, 1, turn back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just don't think I'm going to be able to get around on him. And if I just push forward, it's going to take a sec to get on this guy. So I might just swing wide with him so he can come back around on the following turn. Maybe. So yeah, let's go 1 and then turn, 2, 3, second turn, 4 and 5, and we'll finish him up there. And he's going to stay at altitude 4. That way, yeah, if this guy tries to come in here to get the shot, he's pointing right at him. And if he tries to come over here, it's going to be a head-on-head with him able to come right in on his 6. So that's a good spot for it. And let's go to our next scout. Mark him. He's done. Next scout. Rolling. Where's he going? 0. So he's got 4 movement, 2 turns. Yeah. Well, he's got this guy coming up, so he's got to come over to try to get on him. Because if I bring him down here to 3-on-1 this guy, then he's going to get an easy move on his 6. So if we turn with that would be 1 turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pivot. Yeah. Let's do that. So first turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, second turn. And he cannot fire, unfortunately, because he's still technically at level 3. So he's below him. While he is coming up, he's not going to be at level 4 until he is here. And this does not have the pivotable front machine gun. It's fixed, so he's not going to have a shot there. But it does give him a chance to maybe turn and slot in on this fighter 6 on his next go-around. And yes, you can only fire up to a maximum of 2 circles, right? So 2 movement points. You can either fire adjacent or 1 past that. And 1 past that, you have to be in a very good firing position to actually be able to get that shot off. Okay, so now we're down to their fighters. They've got the 3 fighters. One's here at level 2. This one's at 1. This one is dealing with that fellow over there at level 3. So if we start here, we know this fighter's coming in. This scout's coming in. These guys have a natural, just to show you guys, movement of 6 with blue or green if they boost it, an agility of 3, so a little bit more agile, which is nice, and they can do acrobatics. So they can do stuff like split S's, Immelmans, and all that other crap, really cool stuff. Not crap per se, but cool turns. So they can basically, but they have to finish in a turn. Now he's coming down If he's got a movement of 6, I would screen past him if I do it that way. Let's see. We could go 1, 2. Well, no, he's gonna get moved up to level 2, but that's fine. He'll go through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns. Yeah, get him over here, maybe coming around, something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Might be making a bad choice, but he does have to make kind of a bug out move because he is in a potentially exposed situation, because with this aircraft here dropping down in altitude and him raising in altitude, they're going to be on the same, which means he could get in slotted on his 6 on the next turn. So his priority is to bug out. And yeah, I'm thinking going after this scout over here is going to be my better bet. Well, we'll see if it pans out. But I am going to have to switch him to a 2. Give me a sec here. Let me do that. And just an FYI, something else these little beads come in handy with is marking where your aircraft was when you have to take and switch a standout. So that comes in handy. A little bit of a gimpy advice for you there. All right, so let's roll for him. We're going to stick with the blue. That boosting. He's got a +1, not bad. It gives him 7 movement and 3 potential turns. So if he could end his move, right, like here, pointing up, directly in front of him, they would be directly facing each other. He would be able to get a shot off in that situation, but I'd have to make these weird turns. I don't want to do that. I want to try to get in on this scout without letting him get a 6 on me. All right, movement of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn, 6, turn, 7. So he could be pointing right there. That way he could potentially come around on the next one. So we're going to leave him at 2 and have him finish here, pointing that direction. Unfortunately, again, he can't get a shot off. Now, if he were 1 space over, he could point up to get that shot off. Now, wait, he might be able to shoot if I tilt him up. Let me look, because I think for a head-on, nose-on shot, you have to be pointing directly at him. Can't be side by side. Let me eyeball the rule book real quick. All right, and just to show you guys, here in the rule book, it goes into a lot of detail trying to explain very clearly with pictures when you can actually get a shot off on someone. And it is hard to get nose on. So let's see, frontal. Let me eyeball that out of the shadow here. Frontal attack. So both aircraft flying directly towards each other are permitted only a distance of 2D. Yeah, 2D. Okay, both aircraft must be at the same height. And horizontal flight. But I remember seeing one about like diving. Maybe I was thinking of one of these because you can be diving behind them. And it shows some others there. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the nose on shot. And this is not going to work as a shot even if I tipped up. I wouldn't even get a B shot on him. And the way they're kind of estimating that, right? So let's say I tilted this German fighter up, pointing up to fire at this scout. The scout is diving, he's climbing, they are effectively, the scout's like flying by him so quick that he's not really getting a chance to get a shot off. Remember, these guys were firing, iron sights basically from moving aircraft, not accurate stuff. So you have to kind of be slotted in on the back somewhere to shoot at him. So he can't get a shot. We'll leave him at level 2, have him finish there. That way he will be at the same height as both this scout and this fighter. On the next round, be able to get some shots going. All right, so we got 4 of our aircraft done for our Germans, and we have 1 more. Yeah, they're not going to be, mine are going to be able to potentially get some shots off, but I don't think they are just because the altitude's not working just yet. I don't know where we want to go with number 8 here. I'm kind of thinking somewhere back, or maybe turn hard and try to get behind him potentially. Let's see here. Let's roll, see what he's going to get first. -1. He's down to 5 movement and 3 turns. All right, so if I go first turn 1, 2, 3, second turn 4, 5, and then turn that way. Yeah, we're going to do that. All right, so he slots in right here. That way he's kind of pointing in the direction my aircraft is decelerating. Makes it to where it's going to be very hard for me to slot in on his 6 to get behind him. Maybe, well, no, I can't even do that because most aerobatics you need to be pointed up, not down. So he's not going to be able to do it. But let's see, 7 movement. Depending on if I'm just kind of guessing ahead. I might be able to get in on this guy's 6. There goes 1, second turn, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, turn 7. Yeah, depending on what I roll on that die, I could get slotted in on him. But if I use like a boost, I could end up flying past him, which would be really bad. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to have to figure out where we're going here. All right, but he's done. We've got one more fighter left to worry about up here. We'll do a blue die for him real quick. He got 0, so he's going to have 6 movement and 3 turns. Same thing, wants to get slotted in on his 6. See if we turn there. 1, 2, 3, 4, turn again, 5, 6. Then he's pointing at him. Yep. We'll have him finish right there. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to turn him south. Yeah, we'll turn him south. That way, this aircraft would have a harder time getting in on his 6. We'll just have to see how that plays out. All right, so he's good. And we'll mark him as complete for this round. All right, now this is the point in the game where you do your offensive firing, and there's potential for break actions, defensive firing. From aircraft like bombers, scouts, and stuff like that. But I just don't think we have anyone who is in a position, like I was saying, to actually get any shots off just yet. Actually, we might. No. He's climbing. He's at 3. He's at 3, not 4. If he were at 4, this guy would have a nice shot. He could do a B column shot at a distance of 2 on him, but he is not at the right height. So that's not going to work. Okay, that is perfectly fine. I'm going to pull all of these beads off real quick and then run my aircraft. I'll tell you what, I'm having fun with this, just trying to like outthink myself, right? Because I'm focused on one side. Wherever the enemy aircraft happen to be at the time, I'm trying to get in a position to where I can get a shot off, right? And yeah, I'm thinking a little bit on upcoming turns, but I'm really trying to focus on whatever side that I'm playing at the moment. But I guess, hey, this would be, I think, a lot of fun as a competitive game. I really think this would play well. People who enjoy things like Blood Red Skies, X-Wing, games like that. What's the other? Battlestar Galactica has an air game, not Star Trek Attack Wing, because it's kind of, but you know what I mean. Games like that, I think if you're into that and you like World War I, this one's definitely going to be really, really up your alley. All right, so I'm just going to do my bomber, get him the hell done, because he's not trying to get stuck in. We're going to let him keep moving towards his target. Now, if I remember right, it was move forward 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then turn for a straight shot through the bombing section. So now I hope to roll a 0 on this die. Watch, it's going to be a +1 or a -1. Told you. I told you, man. I told you. All right, can I fix that by turning? Yeah, kind of. If I turn 1, because I need to be on this line here. Oh, no, but I want to finish with the turn there. If I turn here, 1, 2, turn back, 4, 5. That would put me on the right line, but I'd be facing that way instead of that way. unfortunately. But I can just make my first turn on the next one. So that'll work. Yeah, we're going to swing out and swing back in, making sure there's 2 spaces in between each one of the turns because it's a heavy bomber. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he'll be right here and not turned. If I had not had the +1, I would be able to turn him directly towards it on the next round with him. I'll just go ahead and have the first thing he does be a turn, and he's going to fly right through. This is going to be the line that he's on, which will take him through each zone. So that will work very, very nicely. All right, let's do our scouts. Let's do our fighters afterwards. All right, I got 2 scouts. I got one right here. I got one right now. And this guy is kind of in a pickle because wherever he goes, he is going to get slotted in on someone. But I can potentially get a rear shot on him. If we go 1 turn, 2, 3, 4. If he finishes there, he could turn and do that. But it'd be a break action firing back at him. They both shoot at each other. One offensively, one defensively. But yeah, I want to get some shots in the air. We can't win if we don't shoot. So yeah, we're going to do that. Let's roll. Hope for the right roll on this blue die. +1 again. Of course it is. Now I'm getting all the +1s. All right, let's see. If we go 1 and then turn 2, 3, 4, turn 5. So it will definitely be at column B. Let me make sure I can get that shot off because I still think they can fire from that way. Okay, so I can fire with his machine gun, his rear-facing machine gun, dorsal machine gun, but I would have to be directly behind him. I can't be 2 spaces away. Directly behind him is the only way I would actually be able to get off the shot. So I got to figure out a different move instead. I got 5 moves. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn, I would be able to get a shot there. Yeah, because I would be facing this direction and he could fire into the rear and I wouldn't suffer the forward-facing penalty coming from him because he could turn. Perfect. All right, so that's his 2 turns and 5 movement, and he is directly behind. So we basically turned in front of him, and he's right there in the rear. 3 spaces. So 1, there's 1, off table here, 2, 3. These 3 spaces are the spaces that a rear firing machine gun can hit. This type of machine gun can hit at level or above. So he's at the level and no, he's directly in front of him. So I still think he would be able to take a defensive action shot on him. Let me eyeball this. You guys will have to bear with me because a lot of this you're having to think about in your head because it's 3D. You're firing at multiple different levels with different aircraft at different moments. So let me eyeball it. Okay, so I think I'm right. And it doesn't matter anyway because I can't remember exactly where he was over here regardless. So we're just going to go with this situation. He's going to fire if he misses or only damages the German scout in a specific way, as long as the German scout doesn't have damaged machine guns. If he has damaged machine guns, he's done. He can't shoot anyway. So if he misses or damages specifically anything but the machine gun, then the German scout could take a shot back. All defensive shots are going to be on column B regardless. So they're both getting a column B shot depending on how his first shot goes. Now, his shot, we're going to roll our 2d6 and hopefully we do not jam. And we are looking for a 9 or higher. You can see column A, the best shots you want to get 6 or higher, you're damaging. And then column B, it's 9 or higher. But remember, this is adjusted by the number of machine guns firing. So fighters that have 2 get to add a +1 to this. Fighters that have 3 machine guns get to add +2 to this. So +1, +2, depending on how many machine guns you got firing at it. Not a whole lot of them have 3, but a good chunk have 2. And I do like how they put the percentages here on the side, so you know how likely it is that you're going to roll whatever it is that you're aiming for. But hey, let's roll for it. See if we can get a hit going. We do have to mark it. So this is 14. He's firing his rear dorsal machine gun. Bam, we'll mark that down. And let's roll. Come on, big numbers, big numbers. Let's kill him. Give me an 11 or 12. 9. I'll take it. I will take it. That is damaged, just barely, but that is damaged. Hopefully it's damaged machine guns, because that would be great. And now we roll to see what type of damage that they are going to receive. That's where our damage die comes into this. All right, let's roll. Come on, give me a red. Could really use a red here. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that scout is pretty well done, with the exception. Actually, I'll have to check. I think it's damaged machine guns, all machine guns. It might just be his front ones that are damaged, but I think it is all of them. There's no way to really tell when you're looking at it if it's something else. So yeah, that's going to be all his machine guns. He's effectively a flying paperweight. His best option now is to leave the battlefield, so he is just damaged instead of dead and a casualty. Let me fold this over and I'll show you. Okay, so we got him marked, and I checked again just to make sure. It is all of his machine guns. I was thinking it might be his front one, since that's where he took the shot, but no, all of his machine guns. Like I said, his best chance now is to flee. He does not want to become a shot down aircraft. That's the only thing he could provide now, is extra points to the enemy team. So on following turns, he is going to definitely try to bail out. He's got nothing he can do besides get shot. Now, since it is a scout aircraft, if he had a recon mission or a bomb he was still carrying, for an example, because theirs can do both, he could continue on with that aspect of the mission. But since he doesn't, yeah, he's just going to get shot. And the rest of these, like I said, will do things like reduce the number of turns, reduce your speed, just depending on what type of damage, if it's to the engine, if it's to the airframe, to the wings, that type of stuff. So I really like this little damage die. That's neat. I like it. All right, so he's done. And oops, I forgot that I was supposed to wait until I was done moving all my aircraft first. You guys forgive me on that one, but we're going to go ahead and roll with it, since I did make that mistake. Didn't catch it until earlier. My apologies. Oh well. All right, so we'll move my other 2 aircraft and then do the shots with them. But we know this is already done because they're covered and damaged. All right, so I got 1 scout left here. He's dropping down to 2. Where does he want to go? Let's see how fast he's going to be maneuvering. Can only roll the blue die. -1, not good. Oh. Okay, so he's got 3 movement and 2 turns. If he goes 1, 2, turn, 3, turn, he can get a shot from the rear going onto dummy. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're basically going 1, 2, 3 with 2 turns in there to ultimately end facing down, but so he can fire onto the rear, using his rear machine guns onto this fighter, and that fighter has no rear machine guns, so he's not going to be able to shoot at him. Let me grab a level 2 altitude and change him. All right, so let's mark him, and hopefully I will not forget to take the shot with him, because I got 2 aircraft left to move. No, 3 aircraft left to move. I got 2 fighters and a fighter up there. One's coming up, one's coming down. Let's grab a level 2 altitude marker for him. He's going to drop to level 2, and he's going to have at least 7 movement, or possibly 7 movement. Let's roll, see what he's going to get. -1. He's going to have 6 movement. So with 3 turns, 6 movement, 3 turns, where does he want to go? And I can't get in a good position on this guy, but could I get on a position on this guy? I don't know. Let's see. drop down. So 1, facing that way, turn 2, turn again, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get onto a 6, but maybe I can get turned around. If we turn around this way and go 1, 2, 3, 4, turn to there, 5, turn again, 6. Okay, yeah. I could be facing this direction on him, shooting at him from the rear, but it would be at column B, far range. So let's go ahead and put that there so I know exactly where he's going to end up. And I'm going to check the rulebook again just to ensure. I know you can do range 2 directly behind him. I think you can do it from this direction, but you might not be able to. Let me check. Nope, I checked it. Firing from behind is strictly behind the target. So if he were over here, firing down, he could get him, but at least he is in a decent position, so that's not going to work. Oh, well. No biggie, but at least he's done. We're going to move this guy up to level 4 and figure out where the hell I'm going with him. All right, so we went ahead and put him on the level 4 altitude, marked him, and where we want to go. Oh, I got to roll my blue die. +1, so he's got 4 movement and 2 turns. If I go 1, turn, 2, 3, 4. I just don't think I'm going to be able to get in a good position. Maybe I can get behind this guy. Oh, wait. +1. He is a fighter, not a scout. He's got 6 movement and 3 turns. What am I doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn. Oop, I should pay it down. Face directly at his 6 at altitude 4. Perfect. Right there on him. Perfect position. So he will be getting to fire. So I got shot here, but potential firing back over there. Let's check this guy, see where he's moving to. +1, he's going to have, what's that going to be? That's 8 movement on him. So where are we going to be? Let's think, because he's in a good position. But if I turn this, 1, and that's first turn, 2, turn again, 3, 4, 5. No, this. I don't have enough turns to get onto him. Maybe I scream in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn down. Yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to just fly the hell away from that one and get onto this rear here. Coming down. See. And we'll pop up to going up to level 4 too. Yeah, so I'm going to push him up, climb an altitude for my next round, see if we can get away from that guy and get maybe stuck in on the scout. All right, that leaves us with 2 shots that we've got to take. Can't take this one, so we'll go ahead and pull that off. This one we already took, so we'll pull that off. So I got 2 shots here. We'll do this scout first. He is firing his dorsal rear number 15 at him. That's definitely going to be a B column shot. No potential return fire. It's going to need a 9 or higher to cause any damage. 7, nothing. Whiff. Ah. Okay, so he's done. He is firing. This is number 11. His machine guns, dual machine guns at the rear, column A, since he's right behind him. So he's getting the +1 and best column. So he needs a 5 or better to cause damage to this scout. So there's a good chance this fighter is going to do some stuff. Come on now. Come on now. Take him on down. Oh, he's destroyed. He's got to be destroyed. That bumps him up to 11. 11 is destroyed. No potential for return fire. And they blow up. I'm going to lay this one over here, count it as a victory. Baron von Richthofen is fighting for the British now, taking them down. Oh, perfect. I love it. All right. So the British have definitely got off to a good swinging start here. They have taken out 2 scouts effectively. One's lost his machine guns. Another's taken out over here. The Germans still have their 3 best fighters on the board, though. Now, this fighter is going to be in a good position to come towards the bomber. That could be a problem for the bomber. So, have to see where he's going to go. And this fighter, he's got a fighter slotted in on 6. If he can't get away, he's definitely going to have to try to maybe slot in, try to go after the scout potentially. Something like that, because this guy's going to be able to cause some damage. If he were 1 space closer, he would have been able to get that shot off, maybe cause some damage. Would have been a B column, but with the modifier, with the double machine gun, we'll have to see. This one coming up, raising his altitude, hopefully screaming away, potentially coming in after this scout, and making it to where this lonely German fighter is out there kind of doing nothing, but he can potentially also swing down here and come after the bomber, leaving the rest of these guys to kind of dogpile in over here. All right, definitely got to say, I like the game. It really is a mind meld. I'm sure I probably messed something up over here or around as far as what shots you can take. I will kind of adjust and critique in between the videos. Because, like I said, there's 6 levels. You're having to keep track of what aircraft's at what level, what direction they're pointing up or down, or horizontal flight, and then in the 6 positions they're around. So it's 6 levels and 6 positions. It's a lot to keep track of, and depending on what position you're around, and then upwards of 2 spaces out, to get the shots in. It's a lot to keep track of. So I'm sure I'm going to mess up a potential shot here or there, but we will learn as we go. All right, that's going to be it for this one. You guys take care. I will catch you in the next one.